basic setup requires minimal configuration and uses out-of-the-box default configurations suitable for many installations, particularly smaller active areas and where no networking is required. Open the SmartTouch installation app and press Scan. A password entry box will be displayed. For first-time connections, leave this blank and press OK. A list of nearby SmartTouch controllers will be displayed when the scan completes. If multiple controllers are displayed, the first entry is typically the closest controller to your current location. Entries highlighted in green have the correct password, or the default password if no password has been entered previously. These devices are able to be configured. Select the controller to be configured and wait for the controller information to be loaded. It is advisable to change the password at this point. Press the Update Password button in the information window and enter your password. Once set, the password must be used for any future connections to the controller. A name for the controller can also be added using the Update Name button. The circle icons on this screen indicate status. The upper two icons represent the active areas. When green, an active area has been detected. When red, there is no input or no active area has been detected. The lower two circles represent the lighting loads. Red indicates no load is present. Orange, a load is present but is currently switched off, and green represents a connected load that is switched on. A number of configurations are possible, each with preset default touch commands and responses. Each default setup is based on the number of active areas being used and on the number of lighting loads being controlled. These are determined automatically, and the configuration is set by disabling one of the onboard switches from the Advanced tab of the Touch Settings window. Check the default system tuning is appropriate by viewing the active area data stream in the graph window. The raw signal in the upper graph should be less than 14,000, ideally in the range 4,000 to 10,000, and the data stream noise should span less than 250 units, ideally less than 150 units for best operation. If the raw signal level is outside this range, consult the Advanced setup for instructions on changing the level. If the noise exceeds 250, then consider using the Advanced setup. In the bottom graph, take note of the largest peaks in the noise band. You may need to touch the active area to provide a scale reference. Set the minimum threshold in the Touch Settings window to double this level. Check that the system sensitivity is acceptable by touching the surface. Start with a single finger, then 2 fingers, 3 fingers, etc., and finally the palm of one hand. If all of the touches exceed the adaptive threshold represented by the red line in the lower graph, the sensitivity is acceptable. Ideally, all touches will exceed the threshold by at least 20% of the height. If some signals fall below the threshold, then adjust the threshold offset to a lower value, but not less than 4, in the Touch Settings window. If further changes are required, then use the Advanced setup. Finally, check the system responds as expected based on the set configuration by using the appropriate touch commands to switch the lighting loads.